My Gavan and Melonine, and well met indeed. I'm Arachir Galadirth and head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer. Welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as Dorwinion. You'll note the turn is 676, and the keen-eyed amongst you will remember that in the last episode I said I was just going to play some games and some time off-screen, and then I would return to you all in probably after an hour's worth of gameplay. Bear with me just 1 second. It was more than 1 second, but I had to shut the door. And instead, I thought, for good or ill, sod it. Let's just play it all. So here we are, playing on as Dorwinion. And Avalyn has been assaulted by Captain Knut. Captain Knut comes with the leftovers of what was Rune's last army. And Avalyn was heading this way to deal with Rune's last army. So it'll be an interesting one to see if we can pull it off. We have our elite forces, but we are grossly outnumbered 2-1 and then some. It is only really 2-1, and so we're in. So here I am. As I say, I'm just going to plough through. I shall record every single scene of the Dorwinion campaign, including this empire building section. And so there may be less battles over the next probably 2 or 3 episodes, I would have thought, other than rebel battles, until we prepare our army for Dale. I was thinking about it this morning over breakfast, and the last time I played a campaign off-screen and then returned to you all was with Lothlorien, if you can remember, some time ago. And the problem with playing a lot of it off-screen was that by the time I returned to you, we'd won the game, and it totally lost any semblance of risk or enjoyment, really. Whereas this time, granted, we have won the game, but our fight against Dale is unique and extraordinary. But I might as well, if I'm going to skip turns to the point that we're ready to assault Dale, I might as well just play the whole campaign off screen and join you when we actually attack the city of Dale and just give you sort of the key battles. But then it sort of hit me, and it's like, that's not what we're here for, are we? Let's be honest. We're just here for a nice little jaunt in Middle-earth, together as a family, as friends, as a union. And so why not show it all? We might as well. So that is what we're gonna do. Now, they're going to attack us. I'm just trying to utilise the hill as best I can, but I don't think that I am doing that all that well at the moment. Because it's a really nice hill if we're fighting over there, but it's an awful hill. It's not as good if we're fighting over there, which we are. And we don't want to move further down here, because we then lose even more of the hill. Well, first of all, let's just get Avalyn out of the way. I tell you what we shall do. We'll move our archers into position in a moment, but first of all, if you go there like that, they have so many troops and we don't have very many troops, so we're going to need to create a wider front line. I think they've got quite a lot of cavalry as well, you may have noticed, and we're going to supplement our defense by trying, no, tell you what, put it there, really stop them from charging in on that flank. That gives the archers at least some protection. And Avalyn, you be sure to stay on this side, and we'll also use you to hound the enemy's cavalry into positions where we want them. So likewise, if you guys can sort of spread out a bit more, go a bit thinner there, you're like that, and then if we turn you slightly more that way, and have the pikes a bit more like that, or the stakes, sorry. Now have them right up against the line, because these people, the Morroquendi Sentinels, can go right at the back on the top of the hill here, which is exactly what we will do with them. But they've got a lot of cavalry. There's a cavalry over there. There's cavalry over there. So there's cavalry coming in. I would stress again to those of you that may not have seen it, partially and mostly, I'd love to hear your feedback on my sort of presentation skills more than anything really. But if you've not seen the Zagar video, which will be in the end screen of this video and was posted up on Saturday, then please do have a watch. It's only about 7 minutes long. And it's it's Wolferson's take on one of the Nazgul. We've called him Zagar. And I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on the story and indeed on the way that I tell it. Because that will have some impact. Because I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm going to do all of the Nazgul stories that we have. Although Kamul and the Witch King we've not written stories for. And so I probably won't give you a reading on those. Because there's just nothing to read. But do let us know. Now, the only thing that I would report back, of course, is that the stories can, almost invariably, either give you great detail about the person's life, or they give you detail about the person's fall, i.e. once they take the ring. And it doesn't need to be that it gives both, and that is what we've gone for. So far, the only real negative on the story, I haven't really seen many negatives, bar someone just not liking the fact that we don't talk enough about how the Nazgul fall. But do remember that it is only supposed to be a brief story, a brief sort of little tale. We've not got pages and pages or books that we're selling on this subject. It is just a little bit of reading that you can do when you get the Nazgul in-game, and that is the point of it. If it takes me 10 minutes to read the thing out loud, I mean, it's going to be taking you about 8 minutes or so, I would have thought, without reading out loud. So it's still a weighty amount of writing, but we just simply can't give you a full story on these people. I mean, you probably could write a full book on the Nazgul, on each and every single one of them. Depending on your creativity and your desire for writing, you may well achieve that. But of course, we're not going to do that for a game, so no, it's not going to cover literally everything about them. It's just a brief bit of information, a brief little background story. And I'm only curtailing that, I'm only hammering that point home because, as I say, so far the only real criticism with it has been that it doesn't go into enough detail, but we can't go into that much detail. So it will be a little vague in certain parts, but I have done what I can to flesh out the story. So 2 of them I've written myself, 2 of them I've heavily edited, and 2 of them I've barely touched. And if you've seen the Ziegler video, you will know that I do give full credit to whoever wrote it, and I only mention that I narrate it in writing. And on the ones that I've edited, I'll pop a note that says I've edited, but they were written, the ideas were created and used by someone else. And I have just adapted it a little better to either fit with the time period we're in, or to focus on a point of lore that was perhaps missed by the original author. Or indeed to just tidy up a few things where certain words maybe weren't the best choice, dare I say, if perhaps the author wasn't... if English wasn't maybe their first language, and there were just a few words, sort of misplaced words, if you will. So I took the liberty of going through and doing that. Something of an editor kind of role, but I hadn't drastically changed them. And I did fill out in certain stories, or in both of the 2 that I did edits, I did fill out a little bit more information where in certain places, but they just won't be hugely detailed. But 10 minutes for an in-game pop-up is still, I think, very damn detailed. But what I've not been paying attention to is this battle, which we are now soundly winning. And even though I thought this might be a bit of a challenge, Rune are getting their absolute behinds are handed to them, and we have taken virtually no losses. They've not really used their units to the best of their advantage, have they? Bowman! Hopefully I don't have my phone on loud. I don't think I did. No, I turned it off for work, of course. Hi, Paladins! Oh, look at the pikes. Look at the pike wall. This is the OP animation I talk of in all of those overviews. This is the ridiculousness of the pike. They just keep prodding away. Although they are being flanked, which doesn't help. But then the front body of the unit is doing alright. Also, you may have heard a few moments ago that the enemy general is indeed dead. And that will not be affecting their morale. The enemy general lies dead. Oh no, now he's dead. What happened to before then? I don't know. Anyway, everybody, come out of defensive mode, charge at will. Let's get this over and done with, shall we? As it is now definitely over.
Behold how our
we don't need to fight on. We lost 98 and we killed 1,300.
This is a great victory.
Moraquendi Sentinels.
Only the mightiest of generals.
No surprises there. Close, or no, not really close, but in close to second and third are Avari Naharim at 221 and Vineyard Bowman at 218. Goodness gracious, welcome to the big leagues. Speaking of big leagues, I would be remiss if I did not just partially gloat about the fact that Watford Football Club this weekend, and I appreciate I'm not really preaching to an audience that probably plays or watches all that much football, because generally speaking, we who like games this much don't tend to be into football, I've found. But that's rather stereotypical, and I'm sure there'll be many amongst you who will absolutely join with me in being delighted that Watford Football Club defeated Liverpool United. Is it Liverpool United? Or is it Liverpool Football Club?
Victory!
I've never really thought about that, actually. I think it's just Liverpool Football Club. Anyway, we beat them 3-0. So they will not have an undefeated season, and we have climbed out of the relegation zone. And more than that, I was actually at the game. I was at Vicarage Road. It was fantastic, and it was a great way to spend my Saturday afternoon. So if there are any Liverpool fans amongst you, of course, I'm just grateful that you let us win, really, because we could really do with the points, whereas as everyone knows, you've already won, so you don't need the points, so we'll gladly take those points from you. Eastern Folly is rebelling, and that's disappointing. Even with our greatest general in there, they're not happy. Get out. Where's some troops that we can send across? Do we... We don't have a boat anymore, do we? It was destroyed by those stupid rebels. No, indeed. But do we make money? We make 7,000. Goodness gracious, we make plenty of money. Vine Regent Howin, despite having phenomenal renown, authority, and command, still sits within Coruscant and does nothing. As it should be.
Your orders, my lord.
We shall engage.
Maintain the siege for now,
We
Avalon.
shall prevail.
Borlach stands within. He might rise up against us, actually.
Yes, my lord.
We'll see. Get you to that fort. You to Santanwi.
We can't get there.
I would like the campaign to have at least some difficulty still, so I do plan on attacking Dale as soon as we can, rather than building a monumental force that will wipe the floor with them. I'd like to go to war with them pretty much straight away, because for my own enjoyment, I do enjoy the campaign side more,
Your orders,
but
my lord.
as with all things, you need something else to remind you that you enjoy the campaign more.
Honor.
This is a sort of life philosophy that I've long held, that if I didn't have a job, I would get very bored of being able to spend all day, every day doing what I wanted. Because you need something, I have always thought, that you don't overly like to remind you of how much you do like other things. And it's the same thing, I think, with this campaign. I thoroughly enjoy the campaign side of Medieval 2 and just Total Wars in general. But it's the battles help remind you that you prefer the campaign, because you play the battle and you think, oh, I'm looking forward to getting back and building this building over there, or building this watchtower over there. Whereas if all you do is the campaign side, it swiftly becomes a little dull. So I want to attack Dale as soon as possible to let them know that their death is coming, and to just have some, as I say, semblance of challenge.
Your orders.
Oh dear, it's not going well over here, is
What
it?
is it you wish to discuss?
Would you like map information for map information? Oh, Deorbrand, sorry. Look at you.
It's good to see. Very well. What else do you have to suggest?
Would you like an alliance? I'm not sure that you would. Do we bothered with an alliance? I don't think we want an alliance. No.
Until we meet again.
Falls of Raurus. I mean, Hen. Raurus. Oh, Rohan, you're really going
Yes,
down,
my
aren't you?
lord.
It's really, this is the end. Land clearance. Vilter got land clearance. Did I just see the trading post in a couple of places? Because that's a building that we want. Yes, it is a fantastic building and it brings good money. It is the best of the trade line or trade type buildings. And we need it for all the money that we can get. And I've got a general building towers.
Yes, my lord.
No way. Oh, hello. Oh, no, hello. We're not at war with them yet. And we've just caught them on the bridge, bugger. I mean, if Mordor force my hand, then I will go to war with them. And we will just have to split our forces north and south. I just really don't want them to. Why haven't you built yet? Come on. We've got troops in that fort over there. You can head north, definitely. Get you up to Eastern Folly. Whoa, what's
We'll
this?
make camp here.
Look at that.
I would fight for your people as if they were my own, friend.
Well, we're going to need to be ready, that's for true. Put the retraining in first, because it is slowly starting to like us, and we'll get that port up as soon as we can. Oh, we've got some mines coming there, that's good.
Your orders, my lord.
Him in there for free.
Yes, by your command.
Him in there. Can you retrain? I need a ship. Because these buggers are logging us out of the port. Some I could train a ship just a moment ago. Who was that? No, it's only our capital and they can't even train good ships. Ah, look, you're building us a port. The ports are coming. Admiral Megujin, what have you got? 2 longships. Oh, in answer to... After the Harad episode, I suggested I was going to look into renaming the Haradrim boats, because longship isn't very Haradrim, but unfortunately it is not possible. Without giving Harad their own boat, which is just simply a massive waste of a space in the unit file, they can't be renamed, which is bizarre because you can do buildings named per faction, but it doesn't let you name units per faction. So the same building that's used between 2 nations can have a different name for each nation. It's very easily done in the text file that governs building names. And I tried the exact same approach with the unit, and it just doesn't do it, unfortunately. There's just not a way to do it. You absolute scumbuckets! Oh, Mordor, how I hate thee. And they've got some maulers coming at us. I'm very tempted to auto-resolve, to be honest, but I think we might actually meet them on the field. And see how well Norway can accomplish... see how well he'll do when it's just him. Unfortunately, we've not got the bridge, but that wouldn't be all that much use. Bridges are only helpful if you've got another unit to keep them trapped.
Our foes appear to be gaining the upper hand in this battle.
And we don't have that here today. But we want to move further back. Make use of our superior range. In fact, our range. I don't think they have any archers today. No way, much rests upon this victory. Our first foray into the wars with Mordor, we must show dominance from an early time. And it lies with you here to bring down this foe. Despite the fact that you are outnumbered some 10 to 1 here today, if you would be so kind as to absolutely obliterate these fools. And also please target the maulers, because they're armor piercing. Oh, look at that, you're absolutely slaughtering them. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Now run away because you're super quick and they're not. Turn and get a volley off. And run away again. Go! Oh, we're never going to be able to actually outrun them. A difference of 5% in practice, it takes almost the entire battle map to gain some actual ground on the enemy. But if we run to the top of this sort of hill over here, and turn and face. Oh, especially if they're going to stand still. The maulers, definitely. It's the maulers that need to die. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. We've got to use as many arrows as possible. Curl away. Although I think you could target the Moran and guard now. Ah, the enemy is stopped. Oh, they take way longer to kill. Ah, but look, they're nice and grouped together at the moment. Go! You'll not catch me! Oh, they're gaining though, they're gaining. Do you actually have a movement speed bonus? Yes, 105, I did think you did. Generally speaking, all elves do. Oh no, look, they've done that annoying thing where they lock into the charge. Ah, but no, now we're... Oh, there's only 86 Moran and guards left. Oh, they have got some archer or ranged fire units. Oh, that was damn close, wasn't it? Curl around. No, just miss him. No, you fool. No, get out of there. Oh, he's overcome.
Men have fought long.
No,
becoming tired.
No. Damn it. I need you to make the line nice and deep when we do actually turn to fight, because if Norway dies, this is going to be so annoying. But our one little guy is fighting on. He's doing well. Alright, turn and face them. This is it. Attack. You're in now. Norway, I gave you one job. Don't get involved. Can we please get Norway out of there? Oh, there's nothing I can do. There's absolutely nothing I can do. I can't believe they're throwing javelins at us while their own troops are in the fray. Get every man involved. You're so much better than orcs, man, pound for pound, man for man. It's that orc host that's going to be the trouble. Break, 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 break away, break away, break away.
Defeat seems almost.
Come on! No way, you daft bastard! Get out of there! No, we'll just end it. We'll just end it. We'll just end it.
Our enemies may have won this battle.
He'll get away if you do it that way. I just couldn't. We could fight on, and I think we probably would have won, but I just cannot risk No Way dying. Then we'd lose so much strength in the south. He has to stay alive. He just does. So we're gonna have to pull out. The sad music plays.
We are disgraced.
Yes, he survived. Yes.
Fall back
Yes.
and retreat.
Very well. Then war with Mordor is joined. We must move our forces to our southern border as we prepare our war with Dale, which is where it matters. Mordor, at the moment, have the upper hand on both Rohan and Gondor. So Mordor will be quite powerful, and they are probably going to stream into our southern borders now. And it is likely going to be a fight. There's very little we can do, though. Mordor will force our hand. They want to go to war with us. They want us dead. They want us out of the picture. Ah, Karasan, yes. Can you please build me the shipwright? How much? Oh, look, we're making more and more and more and more and more money. We just need to keep going with the making money situation. Keep it up for as long as we can. Get you to Eastern Folly, and then as soon as there's free upkeep here, you'll be joined. Ah, yes, you got your port in. Perfect. And there's retraining going on.
Yes, my lord.
With honor, this tower will keep.
I'm gonna stick you.
Yes.
Scum.
We shall
They make for
continue
Varfest.
tomorrow.
We must pull forces to Varfest. I tell you who's going to absolutely be a dream in the fight with Mordor. Edwardwin.
Orders, my lord.
Edwardwin and the Paladins of the Vintner Court. And also
can
this
go no
little
further, my lord.
army here, which seems to be
Yes.
retrained and ready to go. How many men do you have in a battalion? 165. Yeah, you are ready. Right, get you lot to the front line then. Edwardwin, you are going to become the anti-Mordor
Taking
unit.
camp here.
No,
Yes,
wait,
my
if you
lord.
pull across
We shall
to
continue
here,
tomorrow.
where you can pick up at least just some crappy units for now, and we'll move south and take this region before Mordor gets it, and then we can at least shut them down at the Ered Luthui, rather than allow them to come through. We've got plenty of sight in the west, which is brilliant. Dol Guldur don't seem too interested yet, but they will come too, so we've got to be ever watchful. And we need towers on this northern point as well. I've got a general I can send up here. Yes, the fellow in Santanwi, Thane.
Your orders, my lord.
Could you please come out and start building me towers in the places that haven't them? For want of a much
Yes,
better
my
word
lord.
there. And we shall end the episode by taking down Borlach.
To battle.
Because I want to. Because I want to.
Muster your courage, men. We march into
So,
battle.
in truth, it's the episode, there will be just as much fighting going on, and it saves me, because there's something, I enjoy playing the game off screen,
For the
but
moment,
not
the
as
fortune of
much.
battle goes our way.
And I think because now the channel is so
remains
heavily
as
linked
such.
to Divide and Conquer and Medieval II, that when I play this game, not in the vision of you all, it just feels like I'm wasting key moments that would be entertaining to watch, you know? Right, our victory here will come from constant and supreme firepower. For Borlach will... No, he won't be runic, will he? They will be sellswords. Yes. So he's going to die quite easily, and we shall take this victory quite nicely. Get you to go down there as well. And the pikes, you're going to be the ones that say, "Hello, Borlach. How's your day going?" To which he will reply... Now, a brief little bit of background for you all. I've explained this before, I'm absolutely sure, but the reason Borlach is not a runic general unit is because even though the slaves, which is the faction in the files that rebels are, so the rebels are slaves in the files, even though they have got ownership and can use the rune general's bodyguard unit, when the nation is defeated and all of its assets and units and everything transfers over to the rebel faction, the game reassigns the general's bodyguard units to any listed or named general. And the game calculates general's bodyguard units by going to the first unit in the file in terms of descending order. It goes to the first unit that is owned by the slaves, is designated a general's unit, and it makes the generals have that unit. So, Gondor are, in descending order, the first army entry in the unit file, So unless we make it a rebel unit like sellswords, then every single faction in the game, even orcs, would have Gondor bodyguard as their general's bodyguard when they turn rebel. And the only way to get round that problem is by giving a rebel general's bodyguard unit at the top of the file. So sellswords are the bodyguard for everyone if they turn rebel. Story time is over. Borlak is making his way through, but he's lost a hell of a lot of men before he gets to us.
The battle is very much in
Oh,
our
and now
favour.
he's even running
Victory
away,
will
which is
be ours.
absolutely moronic. Oh, Borlak, you silly fool. Did we lose a pikeman? We did, and by the looks of his positioning, he was shot in the back of the head. Always disappointing when that happens. Avalyn, you're the fastest. Get in there. Bring him down. Send the javelins in too.
We await your command.
And he stands
Men
up.
of-
Ah,
This
no,
is
he
a
doesn't.
clear victory.
He's dead. And we lost one, as we say. And they didn't kill any. Yeah, we know we killed them ourselves. And it tells you, doesn't it? There you go. Morroquendi protectors killed our own elven unit. Damn disappointing. Oh, I didn't explain, by the way, probably because it's boring as sin, but I shut the door at the beginning because Calicat is currently outside in the big wide world, but she will come back, and she'll come back and she'll meow into the microphone. So I had to shut her out. Get ready. Oh, also, version 4, we really are close now. We've absolutely burnt through the remaining polishing to-do list. Lots of little bugs and kinks and whatnot have all been worked out, and the mod is really looking in a healthy way. So we're pressing ahead with the getting the installer ready, and I hope to build the installer to give you all an idea of where we are this coming weekend. So then we will then test it for an amount of time. I don't know. Oh, you could have roads because you're a big central province. We'll test it for a certain amount of time, and then upon once I'm happy that it's okay, then we will release. But it is still going to be at least some time. We will do a considerable amount of testing before we go ahead with that. 8,000 gold coins we make now. Avalyn, you are not going to be heading south. That's Edwardwin's
my lord.
charge. He's going to
Can go no
Varfest.
further, my lord.
But I suppose perhaps
Taking
then,
camp
if
here.
you
Your
do
orders,
take
my
your
lord.
elven contingent
For the light!
and head to join up with Norway, we'll have a pure elven army.
We can go no further.
And the two of you
Yes, my lord.
can take this region and
Taking
become the
camp
guardian
here.
there. Edwardin will become the guardian there. Othelbed,
Your orders, my
Frothair,
lord.
if you take those three and go to Othelbed in anticipation, not Othelbed, Varfest in anticipation, you'll join up with Edwardin and be the second in command to
Yes,
him.
my lord.
And Othelbed, if in time you can retrain our units, that'd be good. We'll get free upkeep. Mordor, indeed. But that, I believe, is going to conclude the episode, and my dinner is only 9 minutes away, so it couldn't be better timing, really. So I've thoroughly enjoyed this, and I hope you have too. There'll be a second Dorwinion episode this week, and then there will be, of course, the faction overview for Dale, which is rather fitting. That'll come at the weekend. And then Lagaran of the Neck. The next Nazgul story will be uploaded on Saturday as well, as I've already recorded it, and it's just waiting to go up. And that is going to be it. So thank you very much to you all for everything you do to support me and the channel and Divide and Conquer in general. I do hope you've had a smashing Monday. I've just said Monday. That's because the day I've recorded it. You're not watching this till Wednesday. I hope you've had a wonderful Tuesday, or your Wednesday will be good. And until we speak again, Navarre den Pedamad Melonin, and farewell.